Hello and welcome to the history of the Ghostbusters. Today's episode will be covering the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And before we get into that, I don't know if this is one of those Mandela effects, but I always knew it as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know if it was just because I was really young when I saw this movie originally and it just stuck with me forever. Let me know in the comments if anyone else has the same thing. And if I happen to say State Puff, that's due to my upbringing, I guess. And here we go. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, also known as Mr. Stay Puft, or nicknamed Tubby Soft-Squeeze by Ray and Peter, was the final enemy of the Ghostbusters in the first film. He was the chosen Destructor Form of Gozer, when Ray let the idea of the company logo just pop in there. The Ghostbusters were told by Gozer to choose the form of their Destructor, and Ray chose him as the form. All the other guys claimed that they had emptied their minds, but Ray said he tried to think of something that could never harm them. As a child, he used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows on the campfire at Camp Wakanda. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was simply the mascot for the Stay Puft brand. His accidental choice resulted in Gozer being manifested in the form of a 100-foot-tall homicidal marshmallow man bent on destroying the Ghostbusters, New York, and perhaps even the world. Stay Puft passed through the Columbus Circle towards the Shandor building and stepped on a church next door, trying to scale 55 Central Park West. After the Ghostbusters tried to blast him with their proton packs, Stay Puft caught on fire and nearly roasted the Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters then decided to cross the streams to transfer the particle flow through the gateway. And when they did this, Stay Puft arrived at the top. The Temple of Gozer and Stay Puft blew up. Marshmallow residue rained down all over the street, hitting thousands of citizens, with one glob landing straight on Walter Peck. Ghostbusters the video game. During the start of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend in 1991, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man made his return to the physical plane. Due to the cult of Gozer's manipulations with the mandala, Gozer was able to remanifest again, and again in the form of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, this time rampaging through Times Square. Ray wondered why Gozer assumed the form of the Marshmallow Man again, as there were surely more effective world-destroying forms he could have taken. Ray ended up theorizing that there's one Destructor form per god per dimension, meaning Gozer can only assume this form in Earth's dimension. It is identified as a Class 7 outsider, avatar, and a deity. Because of complications Gozer faced penetrating the human realm, the Destructor form was not even as powerful as his original form, which would seem to be confirmed by him being eventually overcome by the firepower of a single Ghostbuster, the Rookie, who used a Boston Dart, a new feature attached to the proton pack, against the god. Stay Puft being weaker than he was before may also explain why the Ghostbusters originally planned to trap him in the Ecto-1B's Super Slammer Muton trap. During his rampage, he demonstrated a new power, the ability to spawn numerous marshmallow minions, minor marshmallow minions made out of his own residue. Gozer tried to capture Alyssa in order to sacrifice her and make himself stronger, but ultimately failed. Not able to reach his full potential, the Stay Puft Destructor form was destroyed, covering all surroundings, building, street, with a hot marshmallow shower. Its giant hat fell down on the building, where it was last seen hanging. The real Ghostbusters. After his apparent destruction as Gozer's chosen form, Stay Puft became a good guy and could speak, and made few appearances in the animated series. He was in the intro of the first season, he was dreamed up from a sleeping little boy, and he helped the Ghostbusters fight evil ghosts occasionally. Stay Puft was eventually dropped in later seasons, and he never appeared in the Extreme Ghostbusters. It should probably be noted that the animated series was either unaware or chose to ignore the fact that the Marshmallow Man was a manifestation of Gozer. The series seemed to treat him as separate beings. In the IDW comics, there was a deviation. In an alternate timeline, the Ghostbusters chose not to cross the streams. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man took over Manhattan and coated the city in its marshmallow-like substance. To make matters worse, it expelled sentient poop dubbed mini puffs, Gozer was not pleased with being bound to this form of Stay Puft. It was disturbed by the sound of its voice, having its expression stuck in a smile, and being so adorable looking. It felt lonely. It was like being stuck in a nightmare. It wanted to go back to its home dimension, thus liberating itself from the form, but it could not go by itself. Stay Puft walked up to the firehouse and peeked through a hole in the ceiling at the Ghostbusters, greeting them with a "Hey guys, what's up?" The Ghostbusters responded by shooting at him. He spit on them. 7.5 minutes later, the Ghostbusters finished processing what Gozer wanted. They agreed to help, but refused to cross the streams. An hour later, Egon and Ray thought of releasing and recruiting Tempora, a ghost with the power to fold time. At first, Tempora wasn't interested in helping. Then Winston pointed out that the world was ruled by Stay Puft. Tempora quickly changed his mind. Egon directed Stay Puft to meet them at the Temple of Gozer, where they conducted the time fold. They threatened to make the new form of that animated character, named Lafudi Rectangle Shorts. Stay Puft was horrified at that prospect, but agreed that this conversation wouldn't happen once they went back in time. Tempora instructed Stay Puft to concentrate on one point of time it wanted to go back to, and then flew into its head. Gozer returned to the point where it battled the Ghostbusters before asking them to choose a Destructor Form. Gozer saw posters of Lafudi and went back through the portal before being sucked in another idiotic form. As a result, Stay Puft was never blown up, and the area was covered in marshmallow gloop. Hey, thank you for watching the history of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Special thanks to the Ghostbusters Wiki for all information you heard today. Also special thanks to my contributors, the Patreons. You people are awesome and I appreciate it. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you have, thank you. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.